Hi, all right, just a little quick from the fast lane, getting to talk you through WOWUTALKS. What's here on the site, what to expect, what you get, what is relevant to you and where you're coming from, what you need to be aware of, all right? And also how to look at the map that you'll see on this site, what that represents. Now, what this is for is I will share with you, I'm going to take you through the background. I'm going to take you through the unique lens that gets to be available to you to put everything together that you need in order for you to succeed as a business, as a speaker, as an expert, or a brand, and all the various facets you need, but in the right way. And then you can actually meet a lot of goals and visions that you have all in one place when you know what that is that you want. You get a strategic roadmap for what you are wanting to be and create, and you have the way that you implement that. All right. So is that you prefer? Would you like to have a TEDx talk and all that you can leverage from that? Would you like to have paid speaking bookings or higher paid speaking bookings? Would you like to be known as the leading expert in your industry? Would you like people to see you, experience you, and go, that's who I need to work with? I totally get what they stand for. I get their process. They're exactly what I need for whatever that is that you do. So you drive those clients and leads. Do you want to be doing a lot of media and getting even more impact, scaling what you're doing out there, reaching even more people, growing your community and your audience, and positioned with that credibility and positioning? Well, while your talks, I know the word talk might throw people off thinking it's only around speaking. It's actually a whole done for you package of all the facets that you need so that you are able to book high paid speaking bookings or higher paid speaking bookings, because you might already be out there doing a great job in speaking, but you love to elevate your fee, elevate getting more, cut through the noise and be the obvious choice. And there's elements that are missing and that are needed to be filled, these gaps, which you're going to see in the map. Or it may be that you want to emerge in this space, but you don't quite know yet how to define what angle that should be or what you need to be for the marketplace or how to even come at it, because it's this whole mass of things you've got to figure out. Now, I've been around so much. I have seen how much people will zigzag trying to figure it out, how much they're bleeding out money in all these different places as they go, taking so much longer, missing all the opportunities they could have if they just had what they needed right there, right now, in the right place. What would that feel like for you? You know that for paid speaking bookings, and that may not be where you're coming from with this. There's plenty of other places you could come from as a business, as an expert, as someone who wants to tell their story in TEDx talk. But in all those capacities, you can translate that into paid speaking bookings for companies or associations as well, which can then drive further business to your business or to what you create as a business out of your talk and your keynoting. But nonetheless, so let's say you're wanting to do higher, you're wanting to figure out what is your essence, what's going to come through you and how you tell the story and where you lead them to where you want to go. And that you are very strategic so that everything you're doing is leading to those next steps that lead to working with you, that lead to more business, that lead to elevating you. This is what it's about. So let's come back and wait for the computer to come in. You can do a computer. There we are. Okay. Hello. All right. So let's take you deep inside the map, the process, what WOWUTALKS brings to you, other things to be aware of that are here for you that you can then explore further should you wish. This way you get the no-brainer that WOWUTALKS is. And I'll just say, as you will see as we talk through this, you're getting everything you need all done for you in one place, or I'd say for and with you, because some things you just need to do because you speaking, you being on camera is coming from you. There are ways you can do it where you're not on camera. Then it's crafting what that is and then creating that in a different way. But in general, it's about you positioning yourself, because we know that personal branding drives business. The story drives business. And if you're wanting to do paid speaking bookings, you have to be out there doing your thing. And guess what? With where I come from, you got the support for you to shine at your best. So let's talk through the map. Let's talk through what's here. Let's dive on in, shall we? Okay. So as we as we dive in, I'm going to dive in via this presentation, and we're going to talk through this map, these three pillars and the various facets under each. That you need all these elements playing together, that when you get them all together in the right way, it's what gets you on that catapulted trajectory, to where you want to head in whatever that is in business. But what happens is there can be people playing at even a high game, but they're missing certain pieces over here. They're missing the higher level video showing them in action, or they're missing the right way they should be positioned or messaged, even though what they do is incredible, but it's not connecting. Or they're missing the system, or they're missing the way they're going to get in front of people so that the dots can get connected. So once you get all this connected, that's where you go from under the radar to rock star. So we're going to talk through that, all right? Now, the problem is getting traction. Whether you're a business, you're an expert, you're a speaker, it is an inundated, noisy online world out there right now, isn't it? I mean, there's people that just decide to call themselves an expert and just know how to like press the right buttons of marketing, and now they look like they're this world-class business or expert, and yet they're just deciding to make that what they're going to put themselves out there as, and they don't really have that experience, or it's not really connected authentically to their knowledge, their passion, what they can deliver for people. And here is someone like yourself who's authentic, who has great work, who's really studied, who has a process or whatever that may be, or who's looking for what is that lane for you, but comes from that authentic place of all those various facets of you and how it translates, right? And once you do, that is uniquely you. No one can steal it. But when you are trying to like go, hey, I'm great at helping people with marketing. Hey, I can be really inspiring in doing an event. You're having trouble fighting so much of the noise that's going on out there. You're trying to get traction on social media to be seen. You're posting all the time and you're only getting so far because the algorithms are choking you off. They're choking you off from even your own people, right? How can you be able to just go, here's where I want to move the needle. Here's what needs to be done. Get it created strategically. You have things that are clear, that drive to where you want them to go. And bam, you are now an established. It's clear what your flag in the ground is. And when I say flag in the ground, basically what you stand for, what your message is, what your purpose is, what your mission is, how you help people. That unique way that it comes through you is so clear, and the unique way that they're going to shift and change, or their company or their life or their business, their marketing, whatever that may be, all gets to be on point. So make sure you can still see me because I see my computer going in and out. There we go. All right, so let's now go through this map and talk through it, and then also what WOWUTALKS gives you. The problem is getting traction. There's so many incredible creators, businesses, brands, speakers, and they're having to fight in the noise to stand out. Or the Facebook algorithms aren't working anymore. The Facebook ads aren't working. They're so expensive. They're shutting folks down when you have great stuff. I mean, there's like, how do you get that traction? How do you reach that ideal client? How do you have them realize you're the obvious choice? That's what we get to bring together for you, solve for you, create for you, so you have it all in one place. You press the play button, off to the races. So let me give you a little background about me so you understand that piece. So I'm going to do this as fast as I can, but I have a vast array of experience that comes together in a collective way to serve you and those that we work with. But it is important to be aware of. So this first slide, and then there's this other slide here. Now, I come from entertainment and media. I still do and will do to the day that I die media, and I've also sung around the world opening for a lot of names. Music is an innate part of my life. And in fact, with the platform that we're launching, that is what puts forward this offer of WOWUTALKS. That's WOWU Now, which you'll hear about in a moment. But the platform that I'm doing, we'll be even using some music as part of our marketing strategy and viral videos. So, I'm going to always use my gifts, my talents, my passions to serve the mission here. But I do come from entertainment, media, and media, which is Broadway, TV, film, and singing around the world. I also hosted some TV shows, and for years would MC or perform for like the big corporate events, Fortune 500 events. And these are just some of the celebrities. I have a list a mile long of those I've either shared stage with, the screen with, TV with, sung with, or like it being an entrepreneur magazine, whatever that is. So this is just giving you a sense of what's been there. Now this is companies that I've spoken for, emceed for, been on their stages, or let's say like I was in the Grammys as a stand-in, or NBC, and I was on Entertainment Tonight or E! Channel, whatever it might be. So you see all that's here for that. Now, I transitioned over 20 years ago into personal professional development. I had a nationally syndicated radio show on personal achievement. I then got mentored by the best of the best, Mark Victor Hansen and Robert Allen. Mark Victor Hansen was Chicken Soup for the Soul co-author. Robert Allen's huge in real estate. They were doing these mega events over 20 years ago, for thousands at a time. They mentored me on how to create my own businesses, on how to market. And they put me on the stage as their through line for all their events. So I would MC, carry the energy of the crowd, speak to them, perform, get them going. So I was kind of that go-to gal back in the day then, but I parlayed that into how I could serve and work with other experts so they could find their voice, their wow, and elevate in the ways that, and the world was fast changing in the ways that world worked in marketing and how you put yourself out there. I also did now speaking for big corporate events. In fact, my third time speaking was for 8,000 chiropractors. So I've been able to take those worlds of entertainment and media, personal professional development. I had a nationally syndicated radio show on personal achievement, working with those folks, in digital marketing at the highest level in those masterminds, in corporate events and speaking for them, or performing or emceeing for them, and becoming close to many of folks in the arena of the various Fortune 100 companies, to then the entrepreneur events and working with the leading, well-known, famous thought leaders, billion-dollar CEOs, to those just starting out. And I had a process for speaking called WOW, and WOW is an acronym for Without Walls. When we dissolve those barriers to our connection, we're able to fully express what we're here to do. We're able to rock it on camera or on stage. And I came from a place where I was completely shut down. I could barely get sound out. I had no confidence. I had those voices racked with fear. I had to leave the entertainment industry for 2 years. It took me a while to come through that. Found my way back now in a whole different way. And I developed a process that helps others be able to, in an instant, once they click into it, be able to fully come to life on stage, on camera, and those voices quiet, so they can do what they're here to do, no matter what. And that's part of what I can bring to the table as I work with those that are part of what we're doing here. So this is our map that we're going to talk through. But I first want to share with you a story of our dear Arson. This is several different stories here. Oops, let me go to Arson right over here. Because he illustrates a facet of his story that relates to you. So listen for it to what is relative to you. Depends on what and who you are, what you're about, as you listen to him. But, or as I share with you the story of him. So this is Arson. He came to me at 77 years young. I'd known him and seen him at these events I'm talking to you about. Oh, for 10 years, he would be going to all these different entrepreneur events. He was the life of the party. He was learning so much. He was trying different things, but it was only getting so far. Not getting any traction. Talk about not getting traction. And spending all this different money and doing different events and getting nowhere. And it's because he didn't have that cohesive, strategic way that's coming through uniquely as him, to have the proper guidance, to create the proper materials to show it, to have that in place that gets to be the driver for him. He didn't have any of that, even though for 10 years he was studying and going to these different events and trying these different things and in and among the energy, but hadn't translated it for himself yet. And you got to be very careful about that. It feels like you are because you're in the energy of it, but you haven't translated it for yourself. So you're feeling like you are, but you're living in a fantasy land, not the reality. It's good to live in what's possible, but you also want to be now connecting those dots that lead you there. So he came to me at 77 years old after 10 years of spinning his wheels, trying to figure it out and all those things. And he said, Lynn, it's now my time. It's time I either cash in or check out. Maybe I just don't even try anymore because I'm trying, I'm losing money trying, I'm not getting anywhere, things aren't getting traction. Maybe I'm not meant to do it. Maybe I'm just meant to go retire on the golf course and be with my grandkids. But he didn't want to. He wanted to make his mark. He had all this fire in him and he wanted to express, but he wasn't sure how. And so he knew with what I was doing at the time, it was called Launch You Now. That's different than what I'm doing with WOWUTALKS, but very similar as far as, you know, what we provided and how we helped folks. And so he was going, well, I could do this around insurance because he sold insurance and financial services. He said, I could do this around healthy chocolate. He was doing an MLM around healthy chocolate. He thought maybe I could do this around it. I said, and I am writing a book about ageless attitude. It's called Don't Die. You know, I'm just kind of playing around with it, starting to write. I'm like, or arson, that's what you need to do. Do the book around, no, I didn't think you should call it Don't Die, but that's what he called it. But do it around ageless attitude. That's what you represent. That'll be your umbrella. And then you can have all these other verticals that folks come into your world. And from there, they can now explore financial services, insurance, or healthy chocolate, or whatever else. But you represent what's possible and vibrant and healthy at this age, and that will bring them into your world. And from there, you can do these other things as well. So it doesn't need to be disjointed or zigzag, or how do you make one decision? What is that lead-in point? And so we defined that. And I worked with him in studio and worked with him on his messaging. And you know, it's just so funny. Man, he came to studio and he was just so, put on that expert coat. Let me talk like an expert. Now you can take me seriously. How do you do this? What do you think about this? He's like trying to put across like he's an expert. I'm like, I call it the expert coat. Let me put on the expert coat. Now you'll take me seriously. Take off the expert coat, please. Please. You know, so I was playing with him because when he's just being himself, he had this wonderful, vibrant personality and attitude. I said, Arson, that's what you need to bring. That's what people need to see and experience with you. It's magnetic. It's who you are. Don't stuff that down. Let that come out. So I had to work with him in studio after we'd worked and refined his messaging even. And then we were able to create this video. Now he had this awesome video. And in fact, I would love to share that. Oops, let's see if this comes back. Come on. Here we go. I'd love to share with you this video because, wow, does it show you in 30 seconds or less what he's about? You get his energy, you want to hear more, right? And that's what we were able to do with this video. And then I want to tell you the results of the video. I'll probably tell you the results of the video, then show it to you, okay? But one moment. Ta-da! Okay, so we're back. So I'm going to share with you Arson's video, but bear in mind this was done over 10 years ago, this video with Arson. And so it was an older, different time with videos and how you approach them. But at the time, it was spot on. And remember, I worked with him in the studio to bring forward this personality. So think of that for yourself, what matters. Anyway, he's on the golf course. And so, in fact, I'm going to show you the video first, then I'll tell you the results. Okay? I was trying to go which way should I go first, but let's show it to you first. Look at that face. But anyway, here we go.
Regardless of your age, you want to be living your life like this? Or like this. I'm Arsen Marsubian, 77 years young. I've had 5 heart surgeries. I've had bankruptcies. I've had divorce. And I've had a series of really great career changes and successes. And the one thing I've learned is that life is a series of choices. You can either cash in or check out.
Yes. Love him, right? So amazing. So you can just immediately feel his heart. You get his story really fast. Then you hear the rest of it, and he talks about his book and the philosophies in it, etc. And it's a short video. It's under 3 minutes. So someone at the golf course goes, well, what do you do? And he had just gotten his video. And bear in mind, 10 years spinning his wheels, right? And he's writing this book. He does not even have a website yet, doesn't even have a book yet. But he whips out the video, captures, I call it a calling card type of video, captures everything he's about, plays it for them. On the spot, he gets a pre-order of 100 books, and he gets a sponsorship deal, all on the spot. And from that point forward, by the way, he got asked by Fox to be appearing on different media. He appeared on all sorts of different media. He ended up having his book getting done and becoming a #1 bestseller. He also ended up creating a mastermind that led it towards business and ended up creating 3 more books. So he ended up having 4 best-selling books, created a business, was on all sorts of media, sharing his personality. And unfortunately, Arsen, some years ago, a few years ago, whatever it might have been, passed. But he got to live those last 8 years or so of his life from his passion, his legacy he wanted to leave that he'd been trying so hard to figure out. 10 years worth. And finally, once he got it all dialed in and that strategic roadmap, it showed the way, and the media to support it, and the strategy and the next steps to support where you lead it beyond there. His whole career and life took off, and he got to know he made that happen. He wasn't at the end of his life saying, what if I had? He was able to go, I did it. And who knows the ripple effect he caused. He even put on an event with Les Brown, if you know who he is, at this theater that holds thousands at his hometown in Fresno. So, the point is, when you bring the dots together in the right way, that is your calling card video. That's what opens up the worlds for you. And that's what we do with Wow You Now. So that was Arsen's example. Now there's some other examples of before and after that, boy, would I love to show you. For time, I won't go there, but this is a before and after of someone who would sell millions of dollars for his company, but wanted to be out there as a paid speaker and was trying to find what's his lane, what's his angle. And so he dressed up as a doctor, called himself a doctor of change, and was rambling on and on about this stuff. It didn't make any sense. The video footage was like homegrown, didn't feel like there's no way a company would hire him or trust or know this is something you can rely on. And then when we worked together, we got to rearrange it, come up with what his business could be, should be, and what it would be called, what the tagline is, which was when change means business. And we had dialed in the way he's going to get his messaging. We had it look completely professional. And straight out the gate, you get what he's about. It's night and day difference. And he got asked if his video could be used for Deloitte and all these other companies to illustrate the problem, what's going on with change. They actually wanted to almost use it as an engaging educational video that you can get in 30 seconds. This is the power of when you truly know how to put what your stake in the ground is, what's uniquely through you, and in a way that connects and converts. And that's what happened here. Marcy Shimoff is a different story, but she had done the work with us around speaking and almost didn't go on her tour for Happy for No Reason, which was ended up becoming a #1 New York Times bestseller, and her being the #1 female nonfiction author of all time, and that, at least at the time. And she attributes the work that she did within WOW that broke her free from being able to now step out and really drive her media tour and her book. So this is the power of that work. Now, these are some recent results of Wow You Now, and I can take you through these, but let's take you through the map so you have that context first. In fact, let me, oops, get the play part so you can really see it. Come on, baby. It's coming. Just hang in there. Computer's a little slow, clearly. Come on, you can do it. Come on, it's got its little shaky shake. Come on. There we go. Ta-da! All right, so now we're going to talk through this. You can't really see me. Jarno's going to point things out, but hopefully you can just see it for yourself. So that first one down where it says 1, basically we have the 3 pillars of map, media, or marketing. Or I should say map, media, or marketing. There we go. And you could call it clarity, content, catalyst. You could call it package, produce, promote. It's basically all these 3 main pillars of what you need, which is getting that strategy and positioning and clarity and all that well defined, your signature process, all of that. And then the middle is then creating the content that shows it, that puts it into action, that shows it the highest level so that you get booked. And then the third, this should be over here, 1, 2, 3. And then the third would be marketing, which is you've got that system, that's that foundational gateway to all things you. As people come in, it drives into those next steps. You have a way that you're getting found and seen and out there and connecting with your target audience, and that how you lead that into further monetization and get them part of your community. You add all that together, you got a 7-figure business, you're off to the races. So let's start with where it says map. 1, define, design what you want. And this, take notes on this for yourself to even look at where might you have gaps, where do you need to get them filled in. 1, define, design what you want. That is, what is your vision? Do you want to be doing paid speaking bookings, or do you want to be just working from home and people might have you do a podcast and you can be on Zoom? So you don't want to be traveling, or you don't mind traveling because you want to be doing these high-level paid speaking bookings. What is it you want? Do you want to be doing one-on-one coaching, or you don't want to do any one-on-one coaching, only group coaching? You want to understand what is it that you want. You want a Tedx talk. Okay, let's know, and we create and design from there based on what you define that you want. Now, number 2 is the messaging and positioning. And as you look at that first pillar under map, you'll see number 2, messaging and positioning. That is so key. How are you positioned in the marketplace? When I was telling you about DW, he is the one that was kind of dressing as a doctor of change. I didn't show you the video, I'm just telling you about it. And then finally we were able to connect the dots together about him, and change is part of his story big time when you understand his own story. So change definitely needed to be part of it. But we were like, when change means business, we're about how he can get things accomplished and done and utilize change. Don't try to run away from it. I mean, he really developed a very powerful business and process out of that and got positioned for the marketplace. But what's your messaging and positioning? How are you positioned? Like, what way are you going to help that people are like, oh my gosh, I so get that. And what way will that just stand out? And I'm going to try to, oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay, I'm going to just jump ahead because somehow, there we go, right here.
Here's something.
Okay, this right here I want to share with you. If I can, yike, escape. Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh, I was having trouble trying to click with anything. Right, so what you can see here is Deanna Nord, and she is Deanna Nord, and she is amazing, and she was blessed to be mentored by the leader in corporate justice who started that whole movement. Corporate justice is a fancy way of saying social impact and corporate social justice, and he was kind of called a corporate rebel because he was showing how if companies come at looking at what they do from a lens of how they can give back to their community, include diversity, be conscious about climate and other facets, you could, and be in customer care, you actually can raise your bottom line far more by giving that a focus and importance than just ignoring it because you think you're cutting costs. You're actually cutting off possibility. So, but you know, to call it corporate rebel or whatever, like, hey, a company hears that, not so sure. What does that really mean? It just wasn't a hook that stays with you or that really gives possibility. But we realized rebel with a cause. Companies know social impact and being connected to causes really connect with Gen Zs. 70% of Gen Zs and millennials look for companies that are around social impact or have a social impact piece, and that's where they make their decisions from. So rebel with a cause means you can be one of those companies that you know that you're a stand for how you have social impact as part of your bottom line, and that it will impact your bottom line powerfully. Rebel with a Cause is one of those titles that just totally stands out, totally nabs business, driving greater corporate growth through social change. That's what she does. So that messaging tells you in one slide what she's about. That's just the title slide that takes you deeper into all that she's about, her media kit, which we make for people, by the way. We create for you what is your media kit that lets folks know how to book you, what you're about. Your clients know what you're going to serve them, or if you're going to get booked for, you know, these events. So, you know, that's part of what we create. But this is illustrating the messaging, the positioning, and why it matters, because now people understand that's her lane. That's what she's about. Let me go into this. Oops, get rid of that. Hi, Arson. How are ya? There we go. Okay. I actually wanted to go to here. This is taking you right now to WOWUTALK.com. Am I taking you here? Yes, I am. Okay. I wanted to take you through the map. Bam. All right, let's do that. Let me go to play. Ta-da. It'll come in a moment. So you can see in that first pillar, though, as it's coming up, how that takes you into just trying to figure out what way you're dialing it in to then being off the charts. When you get just this one pillar clear, it sets you on that trajectory. It's so powerful what it will do for you. So this is a very key piece and foundational and defines everything and also how it plays together. So you get masterful guidance and direction around that with Wow Your Talk. But even if you're going to just figure it out for yourself, you want to make sure you have that dialed in. The next thing, number 3 up there, is your marketing offers. That means your monetization offers. Don't just go, oh, I want to get booked for high-paid speaking bookings, and you're just like trying to get the booking. Get a really clear sense of of all the touch points, where you're driving them. You want to, in your speech, be able to drive them to download the PDF that shares what your signature process may be. For instance, Rebel with a Cause. We took that word rebel, R-E-B-E-L, turned it into her 5 pillars or principles in the signature process for Rebel, which is how she works with companies. It defines what companies need to do, how she works with them in order to achieve it. It is such a solid, it creates the trainings that you're going to create from there. It lets folks know what you're bringing to the table for them. It is so important. And so you can create in your marketing offers, realize, let me have a 12-week licensed training that I'll license to companies beyond my speaking bookings. And you either are doing an added value when you get booked, or after they experience your talk, you sell it in back, whatever that may be. But you are very clear as to how you're driving them into your world, where you're leading them from there. It's all playing together. So it all the more leverages and amplifies your monetization and grows your community. So this first pillar of map, we call it clarity, it's all, there you go, very, very important. Now the second is media. Now that's now creating the content to show you in action. They need to feel you, they need to see you. And when it comes to paid speaking bookings, they need to see you in action. It's not even just enough to have a 30-second reel of sizzle reel of bam, 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 all these little moments. That's important. That shows all these different moments in one fell swoop in 30 seconds. Very important. But time and again, the speaking bureaus, the meeting planners, they're all saying they want to see a speech, 10 minutes ideally, at least 5 to 10 minutes, speaking top to bottom, to know you really do know how to speak and work with a crowd and want to see you in action. Well, the issue is there's so many speakers that they just aren't getting the right great footage. There's something wrong with the lighting or the sound, or the way it was shot isn't really translating well for them, or they don't get a copy of the footage. So they don't have footage with a great section of just 5 to 10 minutes capturing or encapsulating what they're about. So we shoot that in a 4-camera professional Hollywood studio. It has you look like you're having an LED screen behind you and you're talking to 2,000 people. I've done that. I've been in front of an LED screen many a time, talked to thousands at a time. I compared side by side my version, like when I opened for Deepak Chopra for APA, 2,000 people, and I compared it with what we shot with who you'll see in here, Rebecca Kokendorfer, who was former CEO and co-founder of homeschool.com. And it's exactly like she's right there talking to 2,000 people with LED screen behind her. It is extraordinary and such high quality. So she can just press the play button and be getting booked. She has the other pieces in play as well, which we shoot because we want to make sure you are taken care of. So we're shooting you in that context with the speech, but also with an interview that's like a podcast TV interview for 10 minutes, getting to draw out of you all the secret sauces, things that we create content from for you, and also positioning you as a fantastic guest for all these different podcasts out there, which is another way that you can leverage getting yourself out there. And now you've got footage showing you that way, you've got footage showing you doing your speech, and we take all that content and we create these little content pieces that is those little nuggets that you put out in your social media or your marketing. Now you've got your content creation, and you have just a whole cadre of the type of media you need. And then we create the media kit. This is how you now get booked for these paid speaking bookings, for the ideal clients, for Tedx Talks, whatever that is where you're wanting to shape it. We then get you set up so that it literally gets to be press and play. Now you've got that middle thing. Now people get to realize this is you in action. This is how you come across. And don't worry if you're like, yeah, but I'm horrible at speaking, or I don't show up well when I go to do it. Well, guess what? We're going to change all that, because that's where I come from. For years, I am known as like that miracle worker. There's no hopeless case. You can show up completely shut down, straight-faced, scared as heck, whatever it may be. I know how to shift that in the moment in studio, and you come to life and you are at your best forever. I've done it again and again and again, and we will do that with and for you. So we've got you, and we've got that covered. So we've got map, we've got media. Now welcome to marketing. Marketing over here. Now marketing is these pieces that you see, 7, 8, 9, visibility driver, business system integration, monetization. Visibility driver, that is, you've got to know that you have a way that you're getting seen out there. Well, one of the things we put you on Times Square, we have a very inexpensive way we're able to do that through media buyouts. So we can put you on Times Square for 15 seconds. There's other ways that we're able to put you out there on our social media, where we share examples, ways that you are getting out there beyond just your own efforts, right? We also supply a lot of supportive materials and ways that how you leverage your own LinkedIn or other things with what we get creative with you on how you put that out there now to get traction. But we also give you a whole business system. Now you may already have your own business system or one that you just got and you're set up and integrated with. We can integrate with that and act as a gateway to wherever you are located, or use us. We give you, with this whole package, we give you a one-stop shop of you that is like your own site, your own brochure site with different banners that our team will do the graphics for. Our team does the graphics and get you onboarded for all of this. They'll do the graphics for it. They'll, you create a description. You can even have a link to your media kit, of which our team will do the graphics for. And then you talk about what your offers are, your promotions. You have a location. You have a review section. It's a whole complete comprehensive one-stop shop of you. All right. And that you get as part of this whole package. And then we ongoingly promote you on our front page, and we are launching to over 100 million in reach. When we, in 2025, go out with our AI-powered version, you get the benefit of that too. So you're getting to have your whole, whether anything ever happened with us or we disappeared as a platform, you are now set for what you need with all that we create with you. And because we aren't going away, because we already have over 100 million in reach to go out to, and all our partners at a high level, from celebrities and influencers and business leaders and who we already have on board, you get to benefit from all that energy and juice coming your way. Imagine being one of the set leaders or people that you're putting forward as a part of the platform back when Clubhouse made its little hit, or when Instagram first came out, whatever that. Those who were, I was actually on a platform when it first came out, and I blew up. That was way, way, way long ago in the early days, but I've seen other platforms where people were there on day one, because especially with WOW Now on our platform, what you do with WOW Talks, we position you as a trusted, vetted, recommended resource. So you're ongoingly getting exposure, ongoingly, from this day forward. So this gets to be your marketing machine. It gets to be your media creation. It gets to be your strategy and business strategy and direction. It can work in harmony with the others that you're working with. We will not, cross wires with folks who may be working with a business coach or a business strategist or marketing team. We get to be how this all gets to come together and move that needle forward for you in an exponential and quantum way. So this is what gets to move the needle for you. Let me, there we go. All right, so I talked through this map here. Now these are examples of WOW Talks that happened straight out of day one. There we go. This is our fantastic Steve. This was our first version of a live event we did, and then this was what we shot in studio. Look how crisp and clear and complete. Looks like he's speaking with the LED screen behind him, right? And he's this incredible talent, but he didn't have it packaged in the right way. He didn't even know where to begin. We got all of that laid out, defined for him, what is shot for him, his materials to him, and also now getting to live on our platform and all the places we showcase him. From straight out the gate, the first time he did his talk, he got offered to speak in front of, 100 different entrepreneurs, some of them high-level folks, and I think another speaking opportunity too, just straight out the gate. And then when he was seen at National Speakers Association with his materials, he's got all sorts of offers that have come in. Ralph Dudley, he also got an offer to speak straight out the gate and a distribution deal for his nonprofit wine label. This is Becky, or Rebecca, who is the co-founder and CEO of homeschool.com. And back in the day, they became the top 40 sites of all time according to Forbes magazine. Now she's CEO of journaling.com. She's sold homeschool.com. And she has her PhD in emotional resilience and an incredible process that she's bringing to companies. And she is on fire. She's already booking high-ticket clients. She's got a whole plan in place she's about to press play with. She's already had people that'll say, oh my gosh, send us your stuff, we want to hire you. So she's already showing people the power of what she can bring and how it comes together when she gets to put it together in a cohesive message. That can be you. This is again is the media kit, and now having a very clear cutting through the noise title, what you stand for. It's what will drive the needle forward. And this is Janelle, who's a successful real estate gal and incredible personality and talent, but just didn't have the right way she's putting it forward and what she offers people. She's too busy. She doesn't have time to make that transition or figure it out. She's trying to figure it out piecemeal and not getting anywhere for years. And now with WOWUTALKS, it's brought it all together for her and the package for her to leverage in the interview that we're doing in the podcast, as you can see here, how she's positioned. Now she just gets to press play. And this is her dream, her desire, and it's all coming together for her. Now this is, I'd love to play this for you, but you can see this on the site, wowyourtalk.com. And we come back to, the map here. We give you all of these. Now when it comes to, I'm going to go through this now via here, okay? So let's do it this way. Bumblebee. So part of the map understands, here it comes, part of the map says, defining what you want, getting that messaging, positioning, knowing the strategy. So you get an hour and a half of our time getting to customize what that is for you. What, like guardrails to direct you. This is what you should do strategy wise. This would be great for you to do messaging or how you position yourself in the marketplace. All the different things that you're needing. This is what you should say in your media kit. So you get an hour and a half of that. Now there is an upgrade that you can do for a next level that then includes just a whole deep dive, define it all, get it together with me type of approach. You can have that as well, and it's much less than most business strategy coaching and consulting is. So you can just get it done, get it dialed in, and at the highest level to optimize. But either way, with your WOWUTALKS package, you're getting an hour and a half. Make sure you're on the right track, as it says here, to make sure you wow at your best. Then you get your, once we know we've got all that dialed in and you're clear on your talk, what you should have in your talk, or if it's a talk, maybe it's whatever content's going to get created, and what your messaging and positioning is. Now we go in the studio, a 4-camera Hollywood studio, and we shoot you at the highest level. You can see him right here. It looks like he's literally in front of the LED screen. It's so fabulous. 4 cameras, and you get that shot for you to leverage in so many ways. That's your calling card for driving more leads, more clients, more media, TEDx Talk bookings, higher paid speaking bookings, you name it, podcasts, right? And, you can do a talking head with teleprompter if you prefer, but this is what moves the needle forward for you. Then we put you into an interview style podcast TV and get to really feature what you're about, the juiciness you bring out, shows you as a great guest for a podcast. You can just send them this with your media kit. You are set. It creates all sorts of content out of this, really positions you well. Right, this alone you can leverage to Sunday till the cows come home with what's here. Then we create from what's been shot for the TV podcast and for the speaking. We pull from that, again, anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute and a half long little nuggets of content for you to use for your social media or your marketing. And these things really demonstrate what you're about. And it's so powerful. And we create that for you out of what got shot. You literally are walking away with a whole cadre of media content. All right. Media kit too, by the way. Doesn't show, well, it does show it here, where you see that man's face, discover the impact effect. Well, that's an example of, media kit. So that is also part of what we create for you. And then we put you onto Why Now. Your all-in-one system for driving your business and offers. This is a whole new way of how we do business and how we do social in order to drive impact. Basically, we're driving impact through driving success. And we are a stand for only trusted, vetted, curated experts, brands, resources, integrated in an overarching, action-incentivized social ecosystem. So that we come there in order to better our own lives, each other's lives, and the world And it's a one-stop shop of all you need to better your life and business all in one place, right? You would be a featured expert or resource that is positioned on here and ongoingly promoted in the front page on the strip of our one-stop shop of you arena. You'd have your own like site on here, as you heard me talking about. So you get on here, and we are launching to over 100 million in reach. This is huge. And ongoing promotion, not just on our front page. We put you on Times Square. We're putting you out there on the various social media. So you are not just creating what you need, but you're also getting support and getting the word out. This is more about you being on our platform, as you can see. That one-stop shop of you, you'd be on here, and you'd be on one of those little strips. If I were to scroll down further on this particular phone, you'd see the one that's for the experts, one-stop shop of you, and you'd be featured one of those little nuggets on there. All right, so let's go to the next. This is other stuff that comes with your WOW Talks, because we want to make sure that you win. So you're getting 24/7 around the clock, direct one-to-one team support. Anything you need, you email, you call, they answer. This is not like we're going to put you into some machine and now you hope as you send out an email into AI that the AI answers or a customer bot. No, you have the real team support. We also have ongoing live once-a-month meetings. We're creating a community here. So how can we all the better support you? Whatever questions you have, whatever other WOW Talks folks who want to meet. Already we have collaborations happening out of folks who've been part of this. And as you can see, ongoing promotion. There's the map again. This is basically taking you to letting you know this is how we change the world. By we are giving you the vehicle you need. Let me just also get to find you 1 second. Come on. Zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Trying to get to Zoom. There we go. Okay. Oh my gosh. But we're back. Yay. Okay. So this is the way that we support you as a trusted, vetted business brand. You got a great service or value that a business or an expert or an entrepreneur or an individual needs. You need to make connection with them. You need them to get it. You want to speak at companies, to speak to their individuals or their company or organization and at scale. And this gets to be a way that supports you with whatever your particular desires are. We get to create that with and for you to meet them. And we have years worth of results that you can see on our site. You'll see what we just did most recently with WOWUTALKS and what we did years ago with Launch You Now. Some folks that now are doing 7-figure businesses that came from a place of nothing. But when you put the dots in the right way, that's when you take off. So check what's here. If this speaks to you, should this speak to you, and it should, I have seen way too many times people spinning their wheels, trying to figure it out, going to this solution over here, that solution over there, thinking they could figure it out themselves, spending all this different time getting confused, spending all this different money over here, over there, bleeding out opportunity that they could have had if they had it all ready to go in the right place. And then always doubting, never sure. Oh my gosh, and that's been me too. Long ago, I had the opportunity to invest, and this was not even that much money at the time. And now she's probably 5 times as expensive. But someone who's well known in our industry to have done my signature talk. This is way back in the day when I was trying to figure things out. It took me years and years and years and years. I wish I had just done it with her. What I could have done and left ahead to have been creating even more, have had my path even clearer. And yes, your path will change along the way. You can grow and expand on your path. But now this takes you to that next step further to then go to the next step and the next step or expand outward. So that's what we're here for. We're here to get behind incredible, impact-driven, integrity-led leaders, businesses, projects, missions, causes, how we can support you. So check out what's here. If this is a fit for you, you can press that play button, get signed up. The next thing that would happen is our team will reach out to you, schedule a time to have your deep dive, and begin the beginning of the process. As soon as you even have that deep dive, life changes. Everything makes sense, the way you connect the dots, the clarity of your path. It impacts the rest of your business and your life too. It's exciting, and the confidence. And then when you get in studio and experience yourself in this whole new elevated way, and then when you get the video back and you're getting all this input back about how amazing it is, how amazing you're translating. Now you're no longer hiding. Now it's out there getting to make traction and following your lead as you put it out there. And now you get to get those bookings and the excitement of your first, whether it's your first or your next up-leveled client, whatever that may be, or that high-paid speaking bookings, or those events that you're so excited to do, or the media that you're doing. When Arson called me about getting onto Fox TV and doing his interview, I was so to the moon excited. When this gal that was one of our first folks we worked with Launch You Now, she couldn't even fill her coaching program. She had a video of her just rambling. She didn't have a way that defined her. This video, kind of like it did for Arson, this video set the tone for her. Now you knew what she was about. She immediately filled up her coaching program. She had the Chopra Center call her and say, could you work with our high-level clients? She had NBC call her, say, hey, we want to see you and be considered for this show that we're doing. Out of thousands that were being seen for this show. She didn't get the show, but the reason they called her is she had this video that showed what she was about. That's what's possible for you. Is that clients? Is that investment? Is that high-paid speaking bookings? Is that a Tedx talk? Is that creating your business and now you've got that whole flow? What is that? We get that created and mapped out and done with and for you. It is done. You're not spinning your wheels. It's all done all in one place. So check us out. Love to be that for you. All right. And if you need questions answered, you have a way that you can be in touch with us. Happy to address any questions you may have to help you make that decision so that this point forward, you're moving forward in the direction that you deserve and that you need. And we're here for you. Awesome. Look forward to it. It's your time to wow.